Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to make some brisket jerky. There's a couple reasons you might want to use brisket for jerky. Number one, brisket is fairly inexpensive for beef. So you're looking at, here in Texas, we're getting it for like $2.50 to $3.50 a pound. And that's a lot less expensive than what you can get for other cuts of meat. Number two, it really cuts up into jerky really well. One of the things you got to remember is how this brisket is lined with that. If you watch the muscle fibers here, you got to cut against those, and if you do that, you're going to get some really tender jerky meat. So it doesn't matter, you know, you're going to get different size pieces and stuff, but what you want is that look on that meat of cross cut on those fibers. Can you see that? So we're just going to do that. Now what I'm using is this Cold Steel chef knife, which is amazing on this. I know what some of you jerky folks are thinking, there's a lot of fat on that jerky. Now, it's super easy to take care of here, or what I like to do is let it drip, smoke, or let it cook and let that fat just kind of drip all over the jerky and gives it all kinds of good flavor. Or, I like to eat jerky fat too, so, but you gotta make sure that you refrigerate it afterwards if you have too much fat in there so it doesn't go bad. Jerky doesn't last a long time around here, so you don't usually have to worry about any parts of the jerky going bad. But if you're going to savor it over a period of time, see how the fibers are cross cut there? You don't have to beat that jerky to get it tender. So here you go, just kind of get these long slices here and cut against that grain. Make sure you see that grain. That's really important. You don't want to get jerky meat without the grain there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half so we can keep getting against that grain. Because if you get the jerky meat's going to be really tough again, you know, with the grain. So let's see if we can kind of keep working that there. There we go. That's still kind of against the grain there. You just don't want it running long ways. This may be a little bit long ways, but not too bad. You can still kind of see that grain there. I'm kind of running out of room here to cross cut this. So what we're going to do is just make sure we're watching the grain. If you got to make a little extra small jerky pieces, that's okay. Those are good for popping in your mouth, waiting for it to cut, or waiting for it to cook all the way through. And these little pieces kind of cook crisper, faster than the bigger pieces. All right. Now, if you get down to it, and you know you're wanting to keep that jerky fat on there for the flavor later, but you don't want to chew on it, all you gotta do is take a little scissors and go through your pieces and snip that. This is already cross cut here. A couple thicker pieces here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and then I'm gonna show you how we'll prepare it afterwards. Okay, so now you can see my secret jerky recipe. We've got all the meat cut up, and we're gonna put it in this bowl here. Go ahead and stick it all in the bowl. You can have big pieces. If you don't want big pieces like that, just kind of cut it in half so it'll fit on your dehydrator a little bit. I'm telling you guys, during this situation, before you start jerky, you're like, oh, I'm gonna share with my buddies, and then you get into it and you realize, man, it's a lot of work. I'm not going to share with anybody, but you still got to share. That's the way that's supposed to be. But yeah, people are going to want your jerky after they start tasting this stuff. They'll stop buying that store-bought stuff and definitely want your stuff. Remember, don't get scared of the fat on here. Here's kind of the thing with the jerky and the brisket fat on the jerky. If you like your bacon a little bit floppy, you're going to like this hot, especially when it comes off the dehydrator. You're gonna like the warm jerky fat. If not, if you like it crispy, you're probably not gonna like it. Like my wife doesn't care for fat on her jerky, which means I'm gonna eat most of this myself with the children. But, all right, Wash my hand here. I open up my jars. All right, so this is super simple. There ain't no super secrets to my jerky recipe, and a lot of people love my jerky, including myself. And if you're doing keto, jerky is just an amazing staple. So I'm gonna use our tea. So this thing, because my hand's kind of wet. Now what you're gonna do, super easy here. It's going to be roughly 1/4 to 1/3 Worcestershire sauce. Then you can get some Frank's or whatever your favorite kind of hot sauce is. I've used sriracha, I've used Texas Pete's on here. I just happen to like Frank's a little bit more than those other ones. So go ahead, same thing with the Frank's. You need about 1/3 to 1/4 of what's left in there, and put the Frank's in there. All right. Now, something I recently discovered, probably in the last year, is the awesome. I got all this new stuff here. I probably should have opened this beforehand. It is liquid smoke. Just, I'm telling you, holy heck, liquid smoke on jerky is fantastic. I haven't smoked any jerky in a while, but this liquid smoke just does wonders. Now, what you can do if you're worried about your jerky being too tough is you can put some meat tenderizer on it. I usually don't do that, and I guess I haven't done that. If I'm worried about it too much, I usually just beat it with a mallet. But I'm really not worried about this stuff. Maybe I should open this stuff. All right. So liquid smoke is a little bit powerful. So I would just put like a half a bottle on there. Okay. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take, now this is why you can use whatever kind you like. I use a Texas brisket rub, and it goes really good with the jerky, but you can make it sweet. You can make it sour. You can make it teriyaki. You can do whatever you want at this point. And that's the whole thing. You don't even have to put my stuff on here. This is just kind of showing what I do. I just dump a ton of this on here. You can't hardly over season brisket or jerky. It's kind of like brisket. Yeah, you're gonna over season it. And then what you can do is you want to get in here and make a huge mess now. Yeah, you want all that seasoning everywhere. So get all that in there. It's gonna make a big gooey paste. Oh man, it smells so good. You guys, your whole house is gonna smell like heaven. Like jerky heaven when this stuff is cooking. Everybody's gonna be hungry all day waiting for this. That's the question you'll hear the most. Dad, when's it gonna be done? Honey, when's it gonna be done? But yeah, oh my gosh, it smells so good. All those flavors. All right, now see, you're almost submerging that jerky. Now what you're gonna do, let me turn on the water here, wash my hand. Is all you're gonna do is fill the rest of this with water. So whatever you got going here, let me see if I can get that on camera. Just put, you want it submerged in water there. All right. And then you're just gonna stick it in your fridge for 2 days. Now you can do it for 1 day, or you can do it for 8 hours, and you'll see people saying 8 hours, 12 hours. Do it for 2 days, and I'm telling you, the flavor is just gonna explode in that meat. It's just gonna be a huge difference. You're gonna notice the difference. If you've tried it for 8 hours, try it for 2 days, I'm telling you. Huge difference. I'm gonna stick this in the fridge, and next thing you see is me putting this on the dehydrator. All right, talk to you. Okay, so the next step in this jerky process is going to be to put it on the dehydrator here. And so we're just going to start doing this. I'm just going to do a couple trays here. So you can see you want it spread out a little bit. You don't want it laying over each other. And some people will mop up the juice and stuff. I don't really do that. Just because, one, I'm lazy. And two, it kind of adds a little flavor. And it takes a little bit longer to dehydrate, but not too much longer. And plus, all this stuff from the top is going to drip down anyways. So what you can do, now this is where you could crush black pepper on it, or crack some black pepper. Or, like I'm going to do here, I'm going to use some crushed red pepper, give it a little spice here, a little extra spice beyond that of the Frank's. Oh man, it's going to be good jerky. Put your little towel down, or little paper towel underneath there. So just Now when we're done here, we're going to wipe down our cracked red pepper there. Alright, so we're getting our tray here. Now if you're going to do the cracked red pepper, you want to start at the bottom, especially if you're only going to do half your jerky, so it doesn't fall down to below it and burn out the mouths of the people you're making it for. Alright, so you're just going to evenly space it. You don't have to be super tight on this. It's better to, you know, get some extra trays or do another batch after this batch than it is to, you don't want it laying on top of each other like that, because then you can have these wet spots underneath that and you don't want that. Alright, so there you go. Now this will take, like I said, probably like 8 hours for that top tray to start getting edible, to be really edible. Even the skinny pieces may dry up a little bit, but it's going to be about 8 hours in. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. This is going to be so delicious. You guys can't believe it. It's just going to be amazing. I was going to send some of my other batch out, and I ended up eating it. Well, I shared some, I'm not going to lie. I shared some, sent some of it off, but not as much as I was going to. It's just addicting. So there you go. Alright, I'll finish this rest up on high speed. But here's one hint. When you get that top tray done, and it's completely done, take the bottom tray, put it on top, second tray, like that. Restack them that way to make sure that everything's getting done. Alright, now I'm just going to finish this up. Okay, here's a little bit of a thing for you. If you're gonna have like half a bucket of marinade left over here, don't reuse it. I don't know what the cleanliness rules for that are, but I've tried to reuse it before, and it's like the jerky has soaked up all the good stuff out of there already. All the salt and whatnot is already in the jerky, and that marinade is not as good as it smells, and not nearly as potent as the first time you ran it through. Okay, so we'll put the jerky lid on top, the dehydrator lid on top of here, and then we'll be done until the jerky gets done. Plug this bad boy in, and then 8 hours later you'll be seeing deliciousness. Hopefully I'll be tasting it for you. Now kick that all the way up. Mine goes up to 155, so all the way to the top. Okay, so it's been about 8 hours. We're gonna check out this jerky now. Uh-oh, a couple pieces missing. This is the danger of making jerky. I ate some already. It's delicious. I'm telling you, if you never eat warm jerky off a dehydrator, you haven't lived. Oh man. Oh, that's so good. Oh my gosh. Alright. So I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put the bottom trays on top, take off the trays that are done, and let the rest of it cook. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, you can kind of see what I'm talking about with putting the bottom stuff. It's getting dried out, but it's not quite as dried out as you want it. So the stuff on the bottom's gonna cook a little bit slower. Just switch it all out. What I do is just keep stacked to the side in a reverse order and put it back on. Alright, we're about 10 hours into this cook. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah. Yeah. I know some people like the fat, but I love the fat. Oh my gosh. That is so good. You can't understand how delicious this is. So this will wrap up this video. Like I said, leave me a comment down there. And the winner, if you want some, just leave a comment that says I want some jerky. And I'll send you one of these trays. Even though I don't want to. Alright, thanks for watching.